Welcome to episode 7 of the Guardian Project podcast. I'm your host, Andy Flory, and I believe that if Ravnica was a game of dodgeball, Orzhov would be picked last.
Because they're all dead.
And I just don't think that they would be very good at the game.
And I'm Brian, I'm your co-host, and I don't have a great intro for this week, so I'm just going to roll with it.
Perfect.
Please listen carefully.
And this is the podcast where we talk about Magic the Gathering.
What's that?
I know. What is that? Before we start today, we want to thank all of our listeners. We're getting a lot of good feedback. And again, we appreciate everything you're doing and you're helping us grow. So please share with your friends. If you're on Twitter, we love retweets. So go tell everyone about us.
We love retweeters.
We love retwitters. Brian, what's on the agenda?
Well, first off, thanks to our international community of Spain, Canada, and
Poland.
Ooh.
Thank you, listeners, in those 3 countries. I mean, U.S. too. We appreciate all of our U.S. listeners, of course.
USA, Canada, Poland, Spain, España.
The agenda?
Yes. So we're going to be talking about some past, couple big events this weekend, huh?
There
past
were.
Weekend?
Mythic Championship 4 in Barcelona.
España.
And the SCG Tour is still going.
It's still touring. It was touring in Columbus this past weekend.
Uh-huh.
We also have some updates for the Judge program.
Yes. Some Magic Arena updates.
Some Planecation.
We're going to play Would You Rather today. We're kind of excited about
we're
this.
going back to high school.
We are, Would You Rather. And then just some fun other things to share at the end.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing today.
We're closing.
Closing time.
Nothing lasts forever.
I don't think that's the words at all. No, it's one last call for alcohol. So finish your whiskey and beer. Not...
To quote Pam from The Office, I've probably heard that song 300 times, but I don't remember anything from it.
There's a lot of songs I feel that way about, though.
Yeah, that's why I get the melody, but I don't get the lyrics at all.
That was like when we sang the modernistic theme song. We didn't know the rest of the words to that. So
simple and quick.
And then the rest of it you just hum because you don't know the word.
Yeah.
Mythic Championship 4 in Barcelona. Hey, what won? Not
Hogak.
But he was all over, but not Hogak.
Not Hogak.
Which was kind of nice to see.
Hey.
But what won?
Well, I'll answer I'll answer your question, but you have to answer mine at the same time. What won the SCG Tour? Spoiler alert, it's the same answer.
1, 2, 3.
Tron. Jinx. You owe me a Coke.
Oh, I went for the Jinx first.
I went second, so mine resolves first, according to the rules of Magic.
In response, I play something with split second.
F. Press F.
Press F to pay respects. So Tron won, but there was Hogak abound.
He was all over the place.
Yeah.
So there's what's his name? Brian Gottlieb tweeted that them banning it was just the facade, and it was just a better version of Hogak now. So that's probably true.
Was Bridge from Below played in Hogak because of Hogak, or was it played in other decks and it just got the X?
It basically just was like a combo, kind of borderline combo deck. Now it's like a super aggro deck.
So if you ban Hogak, can you just unban the other cards?
No, that's still problematic.
It is? I think there's still problems?
I think Bridge from Below is just a problematic card, but just because it does something for free, I think that's bad for Magic.
Okay.
But Hogak was also all over the SCG as well.
Yeah.
Both had day 2 conversion rates of about 20%, or they were 20% of the field, which is an absurd number.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that it was like the win percentage was like nearly 50% or more. And then I think 70% of the day 1 at the Mythic Championship converted to day 2. I was like, 70%? Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. Win percentages from the top 5 most played decks from day 2 is Hogak at 56%. The second most played deck, Is It Phoenix, had a 50.8 win percentage. Eldrazi Tron, the third most played, had 50.4. Humans had, which was the fourth most, had 48%, which was tied for the most played with Blue White Control, which only had a 46% win rating.
And that's still not bad though. You're just below half of your deck,
right.
half of your games winning.
And then coming at number 6, Jund, 52% against the field.
Jund is good.
Jund is good.
I mean, I wish I owned some of the cards to play Jund, but I don't, and I can't. I'm not going to buy all of them. So
wait, you don't? If you bought it like 8 years ago, you don't have to update it.
I've only been playing Magic for like 6 years. So
rip.
Yeah. But I think the other nice thing about Mythic Championship 4 is that I believe, I'm just checking right now, there were 7 different decks in the top 8, which was really diverse, which was nice. So there was Hardened Scales, Eldrazi Tron, the Urza Thopter Sword deck, Jund, Hogak, Phoenix, and
Jeskai Urza.
and Eldrazi Tron. There was Eldrazi Tron and regular Tron. So I'm counting those as 2 different decks there. I mean,
and
then there was another version of Jund. So there were seven different decks in the top 8, which is pretty cool. And I like the Urza Thopter Sword deck a lot.
This one was Jeskai. Most of the builds on the field and just like that I've seen on like Moto and stuff have been the Grixis build, but
it says Teferi, Time Raveler, Urzas, Goblin Engineers, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
War of Invention, and then it's just got the Thopter Foundry and
Urza combo speeds it up.
Sword of the so it's pretty sweet. I think, and Hardened Scales. A lot of people are not watching this deck, but it's really good.
Yeah. So with everybody's focus on, because there's 836 copies that were registered at the Mythic Championship of Leyline of the Void. So clearly everybody's focus was on Hogak and, Is It Phoenix for the meta. But, Tron and Affinity, which are, kind of artifact-based or synergy decks, just were able to sneak through just because they present a very fast clock.
Yeah.
Well, specifically Scales. Obviously, Tron's just... I play a big fatty on turn 3 and the game's pretty much over.
I like Hardened Scales a lot, though. This deck seems really fun. Also, you're just putting counters on things and swinging out.
Yeah, it's like an EDH player's dream. Put counters on stuff, they get bigger, and then you kill them.
I mean, there are a lot of cards in here that are really good in Commander. Evolutionary Leap, Hardened Scales,
Hangerback Walker, Walking Ballista,
Metallic Mimic. I mean, this is just putting a bunch of Commander decks together.
I know, right?
Playing this deck.
I'm sure some guy was like, I can't build actual Affinity, but I have a bunch of Hardened Scales, so let's do this.
Can you play... I mean, it's probably not good, obviously, and the fact that it costs 3 and not 1, but can you play Peer in Modern? Is it Modern legal? From Battle Bond? It's Hardened Scales on a creature.
Oh, no. Yeah, he's Battle Bond. From Battle Bond,
and that's not legal.
That's Legacy. You can play play Infinity Scales and
with Per.
Yeah. Let's go up a format. I guess you could also play like Ancient Tomb and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can get Per out on turn 2 then.
Hey, if anybody top 8's an event with a Legacy event with that, I can claim full credit for that idea.
Yeah, so Hogak was all over, but did not win, which was nice. I mean, okay, maybe it's not nice. It was refreshing to not see it win everything.
It's kind of like mixed feelings about that because it was the most played and most winningest deck at the Mythic Championship, but it wasn't in the top 8. Mostly of that was due to draft. Hogak had of the players who had 6 wins or more with it, because there was 10 rounds of construct and 6 rounds of draft.
And the draft was Modern Horizons, it was Modern all over.
Yeah. 30 of the people who had 6 wins, 30% were Hogak. So they were 6-4 or better. Of the people who had at least 7 wins. 36% of that was Hogak.
Oh yeah,
So
so they made up for their not stellar draft experience by
Right.
winning with Hogak.
Yeah, so they were 8-2. What is that? 80, win percentage on some some players. There wasn't really anything that had a really consistent win percentage in constructed that great. I mean, obviously we went over the numbers earlier, but only 11% of Phoenix players accounted for somebody who had 6 or more wins. And then the third most played deck, Tron, Eldrazi Tron, had no one with 8 wins, and then 16% of the field had 7 wins or more.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean the overall win rates across the board were pretty even, but obviously Hogak just ran away with that statistic.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens with Hogak in the future. It's clearly still a really good deck.
Yeah,
So
we'll find out. Kind of going to the SCG, Tron was also won that event.
on the tippy top.
Yeah. And that was much less diverse of a top 8. There's 4 Hogak decks, 2 Tron, 2 actual Tron, 1 Grixis Urza, and 1 Is It Phoenix deck.
Okay.
So
No hardened scales there.
no hard skins.
Yeah, no. So it was interesting to watch some of these this past weekend, and
Yeah, everybody was talking about the winning in for what's his name, Jelger Vigersmar, and I forget his name, the Urza Jeskai player, I think. But they were game 1. I think Vigersmar just kind of ran him over, and then game 2, the other player ran him over, and then game 3 was just some of the most skill intensive Magic I've ever seen, like on camera. It was great.
cool.
Mark it.
Let's see next. Judge program updates. So there's an update to the judge program.
Update me about this info.
Looks like the current program is going to be replaced with a Judge Academy program, which will require a yearly subscription fee to participate. So it looks like they're going to phase out the current program, which is a free to participate program, and an independent company will be taking over. And essentially, things we know. This is from the blog, the magicjudges.org blog. It says contracted roles like program coordinators, regional coordinators are going to end on October 1st. Many of those tasks will be taken over by employees or contractors of the new organization. The organization will have a board of advisors comprised of judges. Wizards will continue to produce judge promos, but the methods of distribution for those promos is going to change. There's a membership fee. Conferences already scheduled prior to this will still be promo supported outside of the Judge Academy through the end of this year. And then it says that the judge apps, the judge blogs, and related sites will still be available, but it will be focused on, or judge apps will be focused on the community functions and event communication. Judge Academy will start developing other resources. But I guess the membership fees. So if you're like a rules advisor, an RA, it's free, maybe up to $50 potentially for a yearly subscription. If you're level 1, it's $100. Level 2 is $200, and level 3 is $400 a year. Rules advisors will, with paying memberships, will receive the Judge Academy gaming accessories. Possibilities include sleeves, playmats, deck boxes, and more. But it looks like level 1 judges will receive the judge foils and other considerations. Level 2 will receive additional judge foils. So it sounds like you're not getting a play set. It sounds like if you're like a level 1, you might get like 1 of each of the judge promos. If you're level 2, maybe you get 2 or 3. If you're level 3 judge, I'm assuming you get a play set. It still just says receive additional foils. But it says judges are considered members in good standing when they complete their coursework. The membership lasts 1 calendar year to date. Judges will be required to complete the upkeep requirements and renew membership year fees each year to remain in good standing. So, I mean, I've seen mixed, reviews online. Some are like, this is fine. We needed something to refresh it. Some were like, I don't know if I can afford to or desire to pay $100 or $200 a year. Because when you divide that out, you're working. So if you're at F&M for however many hours and you're at whatever judging events you have to figure out the math. And then if you're not going to get a play set of your judge promos anymore, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But
yeah, I know some people, not to be named, that just became a judge just so they can get the judge foils.
Sure.
So what a bummer, bucko.
I mean, you're still going to get it. I mean, and in most cases, to be honest, if you're looking at the judge promos that you get, in most cases, paying $100 to be a level 1, you still make money, just not as much.
Right.
I mean,
you used to get like, some of them used to get like playset or, up
sure.
to 8 of each. That's how some people make money. And
I get it. So we'll see what happens with that.
Whoops, bucko.
So you and I, we're not officially judges. You do a lot of just rules advising just because you work at the shop anyway. And I
do advise on rules, yes.
Was working towards my judge certification. I haven't completed it. I've taken a lot of the courses and I've judged some events at some local shops. But I think I will wait to see how this shakes out and then just go from there. I mean, for someone who's not a judge that is looking to become a judge, this actually could be really great for you because everything, by the time you're ready to go, you know everything. You're not in limbo. Yeah. You're not trying to figure out what the scoop is and
how to scoop.
Oh no, I know how to scoop.
I do too.
Yep. You just scoop online when someone plays Phoenix in standard against you. No, on arena you can't call judge.
That's true.
But I'd like to when someone tries to just rope me because that's just slow play.
Okay.
But legal.
Legal rope? Kind
of, right? Because it's still timed, but it's obnoxious. No, so I'm interested to see what happens with this. Obviously, we'll look for updates in the future. I assume they'll come out soon, but
there'll probably be some sort of
probably within the week. We'll learn some more stuff.
Does Helene Berget, or however you say her name, does she still do all the judge updates?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, we'll see what happens, but we'll look for it and we'll probably be tweeting about it. So
we're gonna retwitter about it.
Retwitter. What's going on with Mark Rosewater?
Hello,
Maro.
He on his blogatog on Saturday asked Commander players if they would be interested in Commander-specific booster product.
And are the results of that question posted? Was it like a survey question or was it just looking for comments?
Looking for feedback mostly. It wasn't. I didn't really follow up on it because I saw a Reddit link for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like the results on that I was reading on Twitter were a little bit mixed. They're kind of like, I would still prefer if you did the pre-con decks every year, whereas other people would just like one specific commander set, kind of like what they did with the original commander. So, like the commander's arsenal was like one giant kit of, commander product. So
with premium foils.
Yes.
Yep.
And up until recently, some of those were pretty expensive.
Some still are. I've got the Ristic study for my deck.
I guess the original.
I mean, it was like $60 or $70.
That's a lot of
maybe $50. I don't know. It was expensive. I try not to think about it.
Don't MTG.
Would you? What would you rather have? Would you rather have the pre-con decks, or would you rather buy booster packs with commander singles in them? Would it be? No. Okay. So I didn't see this. Is it like commander singles from a new set that you have to collect them all, or
they didn't specify? But if we're going based off of Modern Horizons, it would be some reprints, but mostly new cards for specifically for Commander. So also they would, because Commander cards also feed into Legacy and Vintage, you'd also have to keep those formats in mind. I know they don't a lot anymore, but
premium price. I know,
probably. Yeah, I would say $7-8 MSRP.
I'm out. I'd rather just have the precons then. I don't buy the master sets because I'm just not willing to pay that premium price. I mean, the value's there in some sets, like Modern Horizons. You're probably safe buying a bunch of packs, but with some of the other sets, there's so many like feel bad rares that you can open. I'm just not willing to spend.
Sure.
That's just me though. I mean, there are some people that definitely are willing to spend that. I don't want to spend more than a regular pack price.
As someone who works at a shop, it doesn't necessarily matter to me what they sell. Me personally, I would probably just stick with the precons. But the game has become slightly more targeted for casual. So I don't think it truly matters what Wizards does, but if it's specific for Commander, I think it'll sell well. No matter
Sure.
what
I mean, I would probably buy a couple. I'd probably buy a couple packs.
Right. I get some extra credit. I'll get some packs.
But I don't know if I'm going to buy boxes of Commander booster packs. Probably not.
Probably not. It might not even be a booster pack. It was just I think he was good in saying Commander booster product. So
sure.
it might be more precons rather than just the once a year. It might be twice a year. Who knows?
Sure. Next up, we have Magic Arena events. So right now, Magic Arena kicked off their event Planecation, or I guess their series of events Planecation. So it looks like each week from Sunday to Tuesday for the next couple of weeks, you can visit different planes with some cool prizes at the conclusion of each event. They lowered, like last time, they lowered the number of wins required to 6 because folks were getting burned out or they just weren't playing it anymore. They're free to play and it doesn't count any of your losses. So the first one is on Ravnica. Right, it is it's like Guild Wars. So there's 10 pre-constructed decks. You don't keep the cards and it's free to play. So you just pick a deck and you play against other people playing those decks. For the first 1 to 6 wins, you will get prizes. So for the first 5, you get Return to Ravnica, Basic Land Art Styles by John Avon. And the final win is a full forest art from Unhinged.
Unhinged, huh?
Yeah, the Unhinged Forest is pretty sweet. I actually finished it yesterday. And actually, we're recording the podcast early this week because I am going to be at Gen Con later this week. So when you hear this...
Ooh, Gen Con.
Yeah, the event's actually going to be over on Arena because it's only from Sunday to Tuesday. And there's... it's obviously we're recording on Monday, so the next event's not up yet. But if you played, you'll know all this stuff. But I tried to play Gruul, and that was a bad idea.
You're too school for Gruul.
I couldn't keep up, so I switched over to Izzet and then won my next 4 matches in a row, and I just think it worked out better. I don't know if the Gruul deck just didn't work or if my matches were bad, but I enjoyed playing the Izzet deck. It was a lot of Murmuring Mystics, and there was Niv Mizzet Perrin, so it was fun. There were a lot of really cool cards you got to see, and it was nice not playing against the same.
Nick was probably happy you're playing Izzet, eh?
He probably was. I don't know if I told him. He's gonna learn now. I played Izzet. So that was fun. Huh?
I said, is it fun? You said it was fun.
Yes, it was fun.
Go team.
There's also an event code on Arena you can use to redeem for a pack of M20. It was at the conclusion of the Mythic Championship 4. The code is Bingo 4, but it's the Roman numeral. So Bingo IV Mythic Champ. So it was very short and to the point. It was the longest code I've ever had to type in. I spelled it wrong twice. I was like, what am I typing here?
It's like when you were a kid and you were trying to put in those codes for video games. You had to scratch off the back and it was a 20 unique code. You're like, I need a credit card. He's OP.
Yeah, so it's Bingo IV Mythic Champ.
Hopefully it still works because apparently some people couldn't redeem it after the Pro Tour was over.
Well, I know it came on early.
Yeah.
So they went to start it early and the code wasn't on. People were like, why can't we redeem this? And it's because it wasn't turned on or something.
Yeah, and then right after the Pro Mythic coverage ended, no one could redeem it.
Well, I did it.
International people just didn't get it.
Weird. I put mine in on Sunday night, so it worked for me on Sunday.
I think just with the time difference on some, I don't know how the code works if it was just on accident, but yeah.
Well, if it doesn't work, I guess there could be some timing restrictions on this. I was not aware of. So we're recording this on Monday. So on Wednesday,
you gave me no warning.
Try it and hopefully it works. But it's for a free pack of M20. future events coming to Arena. Following on the Planecation is a landfall event on Zendikar, or I guess in the idea is that you're visiting Zendikar, so it's going to feature a mechanic for landfall. Specifically, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, exile a top card of your library. If it's a land, put it into your hand. If it's a creature card, put it on the bottom of your library, and then create a 1/1 green plant. If it's a non-creature, non-land, put that card on the bottom of your library. Each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. So that seems obnoxious. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm kind of excited. And then the other event, which isn't necessarily a Planecation, I guess. It's called the Standard Shakeup. And basically they are going to ban a giant list of cards to see what can be played, I guess, or see how original and creative folks are when you just ban a giant list of cards. So those cards are very quickly Benelish Marshal, History of Benalia, Venerated Loxodon, Curious Obsession, Nexus of Fate, Command the Dread Horde, Arclight Phoenix, Experimental Frenzy, Goblin Chain Whirler, Light Up the Stage, Rampaging Ferocidon, Rekindling Phoenix, Runway Steamkin, Nisu Shakes the World, Wild Growth Walker, Teferi Hero of Dominaria, Teferi Time Raveler, Thought Erasure, Hydroid Krasis, and Risen Reef. So everything you see all day, every day is basically being banned for this event. So I don't know what's left, but I'm looking forward to seeing what is left.
I was going to say, they banned every fun pillar of the format.
I mean...
and a format that already has only like 1,600 card pools.
Dominaria is still legal, so you can go back to playing Saprolings.
Woo.
I mean, mono blue takes a hit, mono red takes a hit, Teferi takes a hit, mono green takes a hit.
Blue red Phoenix.
Risen Reef takes a hit. That's a whole format.
Lord, take me now.
So elementals,
elementals
and combo. I don't know why Venerated Loxodon's being banned. Are we thinking Convoke is actually a thing still? Because it's not.
Wow, Mr. Ravnica is voting off Convoke. I almost said Convoke.
To be fair, I did play Convoke.
To be fair,
I played Convoke for a long time, but I'm just surprised that Venerated Loxodon's being banned. But we get to keep vampires, so there's that.
Hallelujah.
I'm surprised. Oh, and they're not, if they wanted to make this, they should have unbanned Rampaging Ferocidon. Just for this event. You're just going to ban it.
Why is that card still on the ban list? I don't understand that. I think it's just they're like, no, you stay banned.
Well, when it was banned, it was because of tokens, right?
It was very
token
oppressive.
decks just kept dying.
But that was like 7 years ago. Unban it.
7 whole years ago, right.
Free Rampaging Ferocidon.
Wasn't it because of the Oketra's Monument deck? I mean, that made a bunch of... Doesn't that make 1/1s when you make it? And that was like killing that deck.
I guess.
Isn't that what Oketra's Monument does?
I mean, you cast a guy, you get a guy.
Yeah, and I know that if you cast like that, I mean, that means if you cast like 6 guys, you lost 12 life.
Well, yeah. No, it was...
Oh, no, that was banned... No, man, that's from Ixalan, so that was after... It was banned a long time ago.
There was one...
It was legal for like a month.
There was...
Is what it feels like.
It was like 3, but... It was banned for one specific archetype that was in it and was token-based, but it wasn't Oketra's Monument. I don't remember.
I don't either, but I'm just surprised they didn't unban it for this standard shakeup. I mean, you should have just shook it up and gave... I mean, Dinosaurs is already good. So, I don't know. Maybe they're just afraid that it was going to be too good in the Dinosaur deck, but I don't know. We'll see. So...
Oppressive Dinosaurs.
Is what...
Jurassic Park. Yeah, wait, no, that's not it. That's Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that was Game of Thrones.
What is it?
Da 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 da
da. Don't you mark that. Don't you dare mark. I will mark your face.
Moving on. We're going to play a game. It's called Would You Rather?
Yes.
Magic style.
Would you rather get eaten by a Tarmogoyf or take advice from some guy named Bob?
Oh, Bob. Okay, so for Bob, you're referencing Dark Confidant.
A guy named Bob.
A guy named Bob.
A guy named Bob. They kind of had a British accent.
I would rather take advice from a guy named Bob because...
Greatness at any cost?
Yes, because I could potentially get card advantage. But I guess I could die from that too. But
I mean, you could just be like me, a John Pro, and just flip lands all the time.
You
and never have I ever died to my own Bob trigger.
That's exciting. So for those of you who don't know, Dark Confidant says at the beginning of your upkeep, reveal a top card of your library, put it into your hand and lose life equal to its converted mana cost. And I'd rather just do that because that is a mono black card, which I don't normally play mono black cards, but it's card advantage. And drawing cards is the best thing you can do in the game. You don't draw it though. That one you actually just put in your hand, but it feels like drawing. So I'm going to go with that one. I don't think I want to get eaten to death. If I was going to die, I'd rather it be a different way.
You'd rather die slow and...
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
Brian, would you rather play a game of Commander where your opponent mansplains the game play by play for the entire game, or play a game of Commander where Winter Orb causes it to go on for hours?
Mansplain.
You'd rather be mansplained every card?
Because yeah.
Really?
Well, okay, hold on. What's the restriction on that? Can I say anything back? Because usually when people do that to me, I just get real snarky back.
I mean, you're a nice guy. You're generally nice, I guess. But I mean, as long as you're not going to be hostile towards them, then sure. But this is just how they are. They have to mansplain it, and everything you do is they're just going to be like, no, this is how this works, and you're like, no, I understand how this game works, but they're going to do that the whole game. Or you play a game against Winter Orb, and like you don't have any way to remove it. I mean, maybe you find a way to remove it later, but it made it miserable for a while, and for like an hour, as in a while.
Mansplain.
Yeah.
I
kind of think so too.
Yeah. I can't stand people who play Winter Orb. I get it. That's their way of fun. No, I can't. I'm not going to sit at a table for an hour.
I had Winter Orb.
I'm too old for that.
Right.
My knees lock up.
I had Winter Orb in a deck. I was playing an Astrid deck, and I took out Winter Orb. I took out Stasis. Because I was like, oh, I'll play this. It's a different play style. It's not fun for you or your opponent. It's horrible.
That's just like the
Don't play those cards.
That's just like the longest staring game I've ever played in my life.
And
don't blink.
And you're, and then that's when everybody starts playing on their phone, and then everybody's just irritated at that one person, so no.
Yeah.
All right. So you'd rather be mansplained the entire game. Okay. All right. Your turn.
Would you rather be probed by Jin Gataxias or stitched together by Gisa and Gisela? No, Geralf. Gisa and Geralf, yeah.
I don't.
You don't? No,
These
that's not
awful.
an answer.
No. I know these are both awful. Because no one wants to be probed, but I also don't even like getting stitches.
Explain that to all the people in the country who want to get probed by aliens.
I guess. Which one would take longer? Am I awake during both? Because when you're getting probed by aliens, aren't you technically like out of it? I mean, you remember.
You're fully awake for everything.
Oh, man.
And there's no predetermined time.
Like time frame?
Yeah, you get probed a long time.
probe you long time. I'm probably gonna pick that one. I do not want to get like stitched up.
You want to come back from. You don't want to be the prized amalgam.
No. Like someone sews your arm back on and your leg back on and like a toe on or something. You lost 3 fingers and they're gonna sew them on while I'm awake. No, thank you.
You don't want to be the prized Andy Graham.
No, I don't.
All right, so you'd rather be pro for an extended period of time.
Yes. You heard it. You're
a fun guy.
You heard it here, folks. Getting probed by Gataxian probe.
Hashtag probe.
All right, Brian. Would you rather play a Commander deck unsleeved, or
have nails on a chalkboard,
or have someone spill water on your sleeved Commander deck?
What did I do to you? Good Lord, mine were at least appropriate.
I didn't. This one, when I was writing this, I was like, I don't know if I could pick one of these. So they seem both horrendous.
If I play unsleeved,
there's no guarantee that someone still isn't going to spill something on it. That's just a risk.
True.
It's an added risk.
There's no guarantee that the sleeves would stop said water, though.
You are correct, and I am going to specify. You can answer this 2 different, right? So you can.
Well, I would hope so because I have 2 different.
No, well, for the sleeve version, does it make a difference if it's sleeved, like single sleeve versus double sleeved? Does it make a difference to
double
you?
sleeve I double sleeve all of mine.
You double sleeve every single commander deck you have?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't. Let's assume it's single sleeved. Which one would you pick?
What is your problem? Torture. Okay, question. Before I answer your question of would you rather on this great podcast.
Okay.
What are all my unsleeved cards the same condition? Like would I get
They're not.
like I would be able to sew in a
You're not playing a heavily played deck. You're playing. They're fine. They're not near mint. They're lightly played. I don't know. They're fine. They're sleeve playable.
Okay, Andy.
But not in sleeve.
Okay, Andy. Andy, okay. All right. Okay.
I hear you.
Okay, Andy. Yeah, I hear you. All right. Okay. I'll go with unsleeved.
You'd rather play an unsleeved deck.
If there's the potential for the water, here I am. Take me.
Take my deck now.
Take me.
I think
Take me home. Country road.
I think for me, I would play the sleeved deck that gets water spilled on it. Like, I don't know. I didn't specify how much water. I'm not thinking someone's going to spill like a bucket of water that's just going to soak the whole table. If it's double sleeved, guarantee I pick the double sleeved one. If it's single sleeved, I was iffy on this, but I still think I'm going with a single sleeve, but it's going to be guaranteed. And I'm just going to hope that I played all my basic lands and my commons in my deck, and that like my shock lands and stuff are still in the deck and didn't get water on them, was my thought process there. I don't think, because you have to shuffle that. There's no way I'm shuffling a commander deck unsleeved. I'm just not going to shuffle that. No, thank you.
I've watched so many people play draft unsleeved.
Those people probably also played without a playmat too, though.
At least one of them, yeah.
I mean, a lot of those people, though, to be fair, are new players. And they just haven't gotten the sleeves yet. They don't have like a draft pack that they bring with them, like just the pack of 40 sleeves and some lands. So, but are there people out there that play unsleeved on purpose?
No. There are people who are funny and like they'll get like clear sleeves and then flip it. So they have like the textured side on the back.
Oh, okay.
I know one of those monsters. He shall remain unnamed on air.
Well, that was Would You Rather, and I like this. I think we should do this again.
I would rather not play that again. That was horrible.
You didn't like my options?
No, it's like when you play against you in Commander. It's just I don't have a choice.
You'll get run over by locusts, bugs, or snakes from Hepatra, or what other token decks do I play?
The humans. That's kind of a token deck.
I guess, yeah, I do have a Sigarda green-white humans deck, and that's a really fun deck.
For you.
Yeah. Other things going on. So I've been working on foiling out my Noyandar. The Royal Shaper. Or not just the Royal Shaper. I said the again. Noyandar Royal Shaper commander deck. And I was 4 cards away from being completely foiled, except for the ones that can't be. So like Equinox can't be foiled.
It can be foiled.
Thought Vessel, it has been printed in foil before. But
you just went like the journey.
But I finally traded for a foil Mana Crypt this week, which was really exciting. Mm-hmm. I traded away my non-foil Mana Crypt and a couple other cards to someone who had a foil Mana Crypt, and I was really excited because I have tried to make it a mission to not spend any more money on these final groups of foils because they're all really expensive. I have to get a Sea of Clouds, which is like $40 now. I have to get a Command Tower, which is like $80. And I need to get a Mana Vault, which is also like $60. And those are the last 3. The whole deck is completely foiled except for that. So I'm really excited that I got that Mana Crypt. And that's the magic news that I had in the last week was the Mana Crypt. Have you ordered anything or bought anything recently?
No, just the Gaia's Cradle at the Magic
Fest Detroit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, real life has kicked in, and we're in the last bit of stretch for my wedding.
Yeah, you're getting married in a month.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
We're not at a full month yet. It's like a month and a day. right? You're getting
Yeah.
married on September 1st.
Right.
So
yeah, so we're like a month and like a day or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting. What do you have going on this upcoming week?
Work on my house. That's it. That's all I do. That's all I do anymore.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I will be at Gen Con this week, so I'm really excited. So if I'm taking a vacation.
Way to go second and rub it in, you jerk.
I am going to be there Wednesday through I guess I'll be there Thursday through Sunday. We're driving there on Wednesday. So if you're going to be there, message me. There's a lot of folks I know that I want to stop by and see. So I will also be there during the Magic spoilers on Saturday. This coming Saturday, they're doing Commander 19 previews. So I'll be there for that. So watch for some live tweets.
Are they doing some Eldraine?
I don't
previews?
know. They might. I assume we'll see something. Maybe some more art.
Maybe.
But I know that they don't want to take away from all of the Commander previews too. So that's starting. I know there's a promo that's going to be at Gen Con for the night pack ambusher, the werewolf from the Simic Flash deck. There's going to be a promo of that. So
Night Wolf.
Yeah, so I'm excited. So I'll be there.
Don't tweet at me if you're at Gen Con. I'll throw my phone against the wall because I'm not there.
Because I know. I'm excited. This is my first Gen Con. I've not been before, actually. So
I haven't. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been there. I recommend going to Scotty's Brew House or St. Elmo's Steakhouse.
Okay.
If you want to spend literally $1 million on food, but it's really good steak.
I'll probably save the money because we're probably going to spend $1 million on board games and stuff while we're there.
Just what you guys need.
Just spending $1 million.
There's a four-tier rack of board games that you guys would have now.
Yes, we'll have. We're going to fill one whole cupboard, an additional cupboard now full of board games that we don't play enough. We love board games. We just don't play.
Still have
enough.
one that I gave you like 17 years ago.
It's hard to play board games every week when you also play Magic.
It's true.
Because they both take hours and hours to play, and you have to pick one. So no, but I'm excited. This is our just a 4-day vacation, so we're gonna be there. We have a lot of stuff scheduled because you schedule for your board like the games and stuff way out in advance. But if you're there and you want to stop by and say hi, or you want me to stop over, let me know. Just send me a message on Twitter. But other than that, if you want to contact us, you can find us on Twitter. You can find me at ATFlory.
And me, Ballerman Cometh.
And you can take a look for #GuardianProjectPod on Twitter to find our podcasts and posts. We like to hear from you, so send along comments and any topics you'd like us to talk about, and we'll address them on the next episode. You can also email us at guardianprojectpod@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody. We will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Going up on a Monday.
No, we're gonna hold this. We're gonna hold till Wednesday.
Wait until a Wednesday. You did say we're recording on